Welcome to another video review. Today we are doing a review on Nutella and Go with breadsticks. Let's go ahead and open it up. Oh yeah, look at that Nutella. It's like delicious poo. As you can see here, this breadstick is a really good texture. There is no articulation on this figure in specific, but there is a lot of figures that come in this. And then you also have an accessory, which is the Nutella and Go. So, I mean, I think you're getting a bang for your buck here. The transformation on this figure is only one step. You pretty much just, you take the figure and then you dip it in the accessory and you create this monstrosity. Let's go ahead and test it. That's it. That's what's up. I'm no food critic, but I will say that the Nutella here is very delightful, and it has a very nice, creamy texture to it, I would say, yes. And the breadstick is very nice and crunchy, I would say. So, let's give it another bite. Yes, quite delightful indeed. And it just reminds me of my hometown. Back in the day, we used to have something called the beef Wellington. Very good. This almost reminds me of it, even though it's sweet. Tastes like an idiot sandwich. Yes, quite delightful indeed. Anyways, I think you should pick this figure up if you can. Luscious brown color to it. The accessory is amazing. There's a lot of figures to this box set. So yeah, I think you should pick this up if you can. He's here. Ben Quadinaros is here. The real figure, however, is this guy. And this Bumblebee figure looks really nice. This is Studio Series 8629 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. As you can see here, this is a really great rendition of Bumblebee. Easily the best version of G1 Bumblebee they might have ever made, because of the fact that there's no parts forming in the backpack. Really wasn't that hard, Hasbro. This might actually be better than the Masterpiece version. Although the Masterpiece version was a little more accurate, but the Masterpiece kibble on the back looked horrible. This looks perfect. The colors on this figure are okay. There is some discoloring, as you can see here, between the plastic and the clear plastic, and then also the difference in paint, which is very apparent. Speaking of paint, this figure hardly has any. He has paint on the front grille right here and headlights, paint on the tires, paint for the Autobot insignia, paint on the backpack, paint on the face, and paint on his pistol. Speaking of his pistol, this figure comes with a very small pistol. This thing is tiny. However, it is painted unlike bronze, so it looks pretty nice unless you're talking about the handle. This is not the smallest accessory I have for a figure, though. That position is taken by Soundwave. Anyways, this pistol looks really good. It has a port at the back so you can plug it into the backpack, like so. The port isn't actually mainly built for vehicle mode, but you can plug it into the backpack if you don't want him to have it in the robot mode. The head sculpt on this guy is pretty darn good. He has some interesting silver paint, although as you can see, it's not completely covering all the yellow area. There is a lot of yellow on that side of the nose, but it's pretty good. Although the main thing about this figure is his height. Size comparison time! This is Studio Series 86 Brawn. I wasn't joking about Bumblebee being shorter than him. This is a tiny deluxe class, and Bumblebee is actually shorter than him. How is that even possible? Oh, my backdrop likes to fall off a lot. I mean, even Bumblebee's gun is smaller than Brawn's gun, which is just crazy to me. But these two figures look pretty good together, especially since they're both in the Studio Series 86 line. Do you think that Bumblebee is actually just a little bit too small? Here's Studio Series 05 Optimus Prime, and they look pretty good together, to be honest. That's kind of like what you would imagine if you compared G1 Optimus to G1 Bumblebee, except I don't have G1 Optimus, so Studio Series 05 Optimus is gonna have to do. Probably because the G1 Optimus is like $120 freaking dollars! Here we have Studio Series 86 Leader Class Sludge. Kingdom Core Class Soundwave. Now, if you look really close, Bumblebee is taller than a core class. I mean, this is a deluxe class. This is a core class. Like, come on, people. Micromaster Class, this guy. Lego Atlantis Mech Thing. A Lego Mandalorian Fang Fighter. A Nintendo Switch OLED. The Redneck Rock. A knockoff Pokemon Sapphire. And a Texas Tech Red Raiders bracelet. So, I mean, yeah, it's my smallest deluxe class. I don't know whether or not this is smaller than the Earthrise Bumblebee mold, mainly because I don't have it with me. I did used to have Hubcap, which is of that mold. I don't have them still, so I can't really compare. So yeah, this figure looks great and is pretty accurate size. Let's get into the posability. The posability on this figure is actually pretty good for how small he is. In fact, it's probably better than Brunt's in a couple ways. Head posability is definitely better than Brunt since he can look up that much, look down that much, and can do side to side, and some head tilt. Brunt could just look side to side. You have a ball joint at the shoulder, so he can go 90 degrees, and he can go all the way around and do all the ball jointy things. He has a bicep swivel, elbow hinge that goes 90 degrees. Also, it kind of like pegs into place. Like, if you hear that, it's locking into place when you put the elbow all the way up. There is a wrist swivel, which is better than Brunt, because he didn't have one. A torso swivel, which you can kind of get some spinability there. The figure can kick up that much. Wait, this is the wrong one. The figure can kick up that much. He can kick back that much, which is 90 on both sides. And he can do the full splits. Knee bend, 90 degrees, and it's also really tight. You can also go the other way because of the transformation, but that looks ugly. You have foot down, which I really appreciate, and kind of some ankle movement, but not much. Like, yeah. You can get some pretty good poses off of this guy. That was probably the worst stop motion known to man. Oh, it was kind of last second anyways. Anyways, this figure is a pretty good transformation. Let's get into that. And that's the transformation. It's pretty simple yet complicated at the same time, which makes it really fun to do. This is just a really solid looking alt mode, I'm not gonna lie. It rolls really well. It has two Autobot insignias, and it just looks really good. Most of the paint that was put into the budget was put into this mode because there's a bunch of paint just everywhere. I don't get why they use clear plastic here if they were just gonna paint black over it, but whatever. This thing is very, very tiny also. Don't believe me? Here it is next to my AirPods. Yeah, here is a Lego minifigure compared to it. It is still a really solid alt mode, and I think it being small actually kind of makes it look better, almost. Almost. Freaking idiot. But overall, this is a really solid alt mode and just a really solid figure. Overall, I'm going to give this figure a good 9 out of 10. Goodbye!